Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rodeo Time, the podcast. We're sitting down here in the Dale warehouse with Colonel Sanders. So you get to meet him. Got the rest of our crew here, Willie Wardle, Leroy Gibbons.
Leroy Gibbons.
And we're going to chop it up. We talk about rodeo movies. We talk about Colonel Sanders here. And then we kind of get off the regular path of the podcast, I think.
These morning podcasts. It's when we do them in the morning. It's
we get a little philosophical, talk about NFTs and cryptocurrencies. We talk about blockchain. We talk about war. We talk about the United States. And it's all good stuff. It's all interesting. So if that's something that you're like, man, I'm interested to hear what these, YouTubers in Winnebago, Texas have to say about all that, then this is the podcast for you. We'd like to thank our sponsors for bringing us all the action live from Winnebago. That'd be Can-Am Off-Road. We've got Total Feeds, Power and Boone for 21 years. We've got American Hats. And then we've also got Rock and Roll Denim, Reflex. So thank you for listening. We're going on to the podcast now. Don't forget to text me, 940-353-0890. Text your boy. Yes, it is Dale Brisby.
Sit back, get your favorite drink and snack. Here we go.
Energy drink for your ears.
You bet.
Welcome, Carson Sanders. Colonel Sanders, the Colonel. Are we calling him the Colonel?
Yeah. No, that's his great-great-granddad.
Sorry for the background noise. We would tell him to be quiet, but it's Lisa. She's the warehouse manager, so she's kind of the boss, so she's got to be working in here. And so, yeah, she gets to do what she wants.
We asked her if she wanted to be on the podcast. She said she didn't have time for that.
She ain't got time for that.
Ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. What, how's it been working under Lisa?
Great. Yeah, she's a good boss.
Yeah.
She don't take no ish.
She don't take no what?
Ish.
Yeah. So, tell us about your experience here, Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
I mean, like from the moment I got here, you guys were super welcoming. And
Yeah.
That's something that, I've been here for 2 weeks now?
Have you been here 2 weeks? Is that how long it's been?
I think today is 2 weeks.
Okay, cool.
But it feels like I've been here for so much longer.
I think we're going to start paying you, actually. So
awesome.
Before I forget,
Thanks.
get with Lisa before the day is over.
Yes, sir.
Real talk. Get with her.
Yes, sir.
We're leaving for the NFR Saturday, so we need to have all that ironed out before we head out. So you guys, I'm going to go ahead and put your per diem in your checks. So anyway.
Nice.
What's a per diem?
So back to Carson. You said super welcoming,
Mm-hmm.
greatest broader of all time. Continue.
Yeah. I mean,
You got
I
here.
just moved in. Yeah, go ahead.
You just moved in what?
I moved into the flea market, and that's been a good time already. I don't really like my roommates, but it's a little better than the bunkhouse.
You guys, the night y'all were moving in, we were moving your stuff in, and I made the statement, looking at you, Willie, and Kevin, you're all sitting in my driveway, and you were getting moved into the flea market, which is Kevin and Willie's house. And I said, I don't think that eHarmony could have made a better match of three young rednecks than Dale Brisby did. So, no, I'm not referring to myself in the third person. It'd be the fourth person. How many nights have you spent in the flea market?
2.
What do you think so far compared to the bunkhouse?
The first night I slept on the couch on accident, and then last night I slept with my lights on accident. So subpar, but
Yeah.
high hopes.
Yeah, you scared me this morning. I
Wow.
walked out. I was in the shop early this morning, and I messed up a little bit on something, so I walked outside just to catch some air. And they live across the road from me. And I was like, why is he standing in his window? It's 4:30 in the morning. Why is he standing in his window staring outside?
Were you really?
No.
I guess he put curtains up or something. And the way they were hanging, it looked like somebody was just standing, staring out the window.
Yeah. What'd you mess up on?
I didn't mess up, but I fixed it. It was a briefcase I'm working on.
Cool. So it sounds like a lot of like stuff that's your fault.
Yeah, pretty
as
much.
to why you're not feeling like they had the best night's rest. And
100%.
once you get this like going to bed thing down, where you like you turn the lights off, then you lay down, you'll probably be all right.
It's the simple things, man.
Yeah.
Don't get lost in the details.
Don't get lost in the details.
You
dude.
lay down and you're like, I don't want to get up and turn the lights off, and then
Yeah, that's when you start getting lost in the
Dozed off.
details.
Anytime Willie gets like that's his thing.
Hey man, don't get lost. Well, technically, I have to give credit. It's Kevin's thing, and I just took it from him.
Yeah.
Don't get lost in the details.
Good artist copy, great artist steal.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all know who said that?
Picasso.
So don't get lost in the details. Willie Sticky Rodeo Rosin. Right now we've got stickers, patches coming soon, hopefully caps one day. You got to hit it 3 times.
it doesn't.
All right.
It's got a delay. All right.
Okay.
I don't know how Donnie does it.
Nice. So anyways, Willie Sticky Rodeo Rosin, stickers, patches, caps coming soon, all available on dalebrisby.com. What about the rosin?
It's coming.
No, you're supposed to say don't get lost in the details.
Don't get lost in the details, but it's coming.
We're
Soon.
perfecting the ingredients.
Yeah. Carson's helping now.
Back to Colonel Sanders.
Where's the fried chicken?
So you're in the flea market. What was your experience in the bunkhouse like for 2 weeks?
I didn't mind it. It wasn't bad having my own space. I mean, Ranch Kitty kept me company.
Yeah.
The TV doesn't have cable or anything, and the only DVD in the bunkhouse was Tombstone.
Yeah.
So the first 5 nights I was here, I watched Tombstone,
Yeah.
which
Yeah. Somebody sent me a DVD of Lonesome Dove. I need to put that in there. Does the
Yeah.
DVD player work?
the DVD player works. And
So you can.
yeah, but so I went to the flea market in Graham and got a box set of Lonesome Dove.
The real flea
VCR.
market.
Yeah, an actual
Like
one.
a real
Yeah,
flea
like
market.
an actual flea market. And
Not just a house that has fleas.
no,
Yeah.
a legit establishment.
Gotcha.
But they had Lonesome Dove, and I talked them down from $5 to $4, and then I put it in the VCR, and the whole TV shut off. So
So you're saying it needs
Yeah,
a new
the
TV?
VCR doesn't work.
no, the TV still works, but when you put a tape in it, it just like
But so you can go back to the DVD player though?
yeah,
Okay,
like it
cool.
works.
Yeah, the VHS player doesn't work.
Well, at the flea market, y'all have a VHS or a VCR.
I
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah, it's mine. I'm gonna take that back.
Bro, how can I watch Del Rio 91?
YouTube.
Yeah,
It
but
is on there. I did
on
find
YouTube.
it.
It's like a really small square, and it just doesn't have the same effect as
Not the same
Or
aesthetic.
you could go buy your own.
Do they even make them anywhere?
I don't know.
Probably the flea market.
Where'd you get yours, Leroy?
A box of VHS mom gave me.
Nice. The VCR was in it?
Yeah, mom gave me that one too.
Oh.
I think it was ours from when we were kids. But
Lonesome Dove. Leroy has the VCR because of Moon of the Desperados. Have you watched that yet?
No, we need to still. It's like sitting out on the
they didn't like it.
entertainment center.
I showed it to Willie
I
and
liked
Donnie,
it.
and they didn't like it.
Real talk?
Why are you making stuff up? I liked it.
Donnie didn't like it.
I liked it a lot.
Donnie didn't
I even
like it?
told you that
Mm.
afterwards.
Why did Donnie not like it?
I think because we've,
Talked it up?
yeah, like how it was for you and I growing up, like the nostalgia of it, I guess. I still love it.
I thought it
Like I
was
still
cool.
get goosebumps watching it. But Donnie, about 20 minutes in, got his phone out, started scrolling. I was like, dude, you don't like this? He's like, it's kind of boring.
To be fair, Donnie is in an intense race or competition with Kevin
Mhm.
with
Yeah.
2048, and it gets ugly.
I
Not
don't
even
know that
kidding.
he's so intense that he should disrespect a rodeo documentary like that, though.
I didn't see
But
any of
he's
this.
also not here to defend.
yeah.
True.
But he did say that it was okay.
That's sad. Anyway, Jasper from Lonesome Dove,
Barry Tibb.
Barry Tubb, produced it and did a great job, as well as
Two goat ropings at a county fair.
Jordy Thompson. Jordy or Jody Thompson. I believe he's since passed.
I don't remember.
Deep track though, like that's like a
Yeah.
deep track. That name in the rodeo world. I mean, like Mac Altizer, Leon Coffey, Miles Hare, they're all in it. But Gary LaFew is in it with some quotes. And it was like I want to say the 90s. They filmed a lot of it at Calgary.
Earlier.
No, because Lane Frost is in it for a sec.
You talking about that bull ride they play?
Yeah,
that's
he
from Cheyenne.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's his last ride.
I don't think that is in it. I don't think Lane's ride is in it.
I thought I remember seeing him.
I think they play it during a part, but
yeah, there's one. It doesn't show the whole thing. Just it's like a
I think that's
slow-mo
after
clip.
he passed.
It was just him.
They
getting
filmed
on.
this whole thing after he passed. I don't think his ride is.
Yeah, because they had.
You're talking about like at the end.
It's at the end. It's a slow mo of his last ride, but it only shows like 4 jumps,
like an
when the
type deal.
That's not when he passed. I don't think. I think that's in Calgary. I think that's just on the back of the chutes in Calgary. But
we're gonna get all these people's hopes up, and they're not gonna be able to get it.
I don't. Lane's like last ride isn't in it. Like that might be Lane because like I've showed it to some old timers, and they were like that's Lane right there. And
yeah, they redo the tough riding the bull for an extra 10 seconds.
Yeah,
and then he's walking back to the
and he passes by Lane.
He walks by Lane.
That's what. So like. If you show it to, there's films like that, kind of like Del Rio, like it's really cool to watch those with an old timer that was like there.
Yeah.
Just because they talk about like each one of those people
and
they'll bring up like deep tracks, like, for instance, I think, Bonner and, Bolton's dad.
Yeah. Toya.
He won that year, didn't he?
Del Rio.
Toya?
Yeah.
Didn't he win that year
Yeah, he won Del Rio in 91.
Yeah. Toya, who Pop knew pretty good. Like
yeah, they rodeoed together. They were hauling partners.
I don't think they were hauling partners.
They hauled together every now and then.
Yeah, they were all together at Tech at the same time. But there's like deep tracks like that.
Going
like
to
Toya and like Lane Fultine, I think, was at Tech around that time.
You mean his dad?
Yeah, Lane's dad. Anyway, that's just it's fun to listen to people talk about back then. So
Leon Coffey's somebody that's fun to listen to.
He was the one I was talking about, like Jordy Thompson. He was like kind of looked at me weird. He was like, that's a deep track. That's what throws people off, like whenever you're trying to really like whenever we're making Dale Brisby videos or something, like it's not so much if you name drop like like JB Mooney,
Duff Cooper, JB Mooney, somebody current.
Trevor Brazil, but you get somebody middle of the road, somebody that's 24th in the world, or somebody that, and you say something like that. When you hear someone say something like that, that's when you're like, wait a second, that's not like a name that everybody knows, Anyway, that was Leon and I were talking about, how to make people like, wait a second, hold up, but whatever. Anyway,
I was interested.
Yeah. What about you?
Let's hear more.
Colonel Sandals. Sandals.
Colonel
Easy. Put some respect on my name.
Yeah.
Put
some respect on my name.
Yeah, I want to call you Sandals too.
This is a closed-toed shoe man right here. I never seen this man's feet.
That's right.
Put some respect on his name. Put some closed-toed shoes on his feet. That's what you need to do.
Put some tinny runners on them feet.
Colonel Sanders. What are you wanting to ride bulls?
Yes, sir.
And you ain't been on one yet.
Nope.
Well, you did get here.
Guess you don't want to ride them bad enough, I guess, if you ain't been on them.
Well, when I first got here, you were like, I think we're going to try to get you on after NFR.
Right.
So I haven't really brought it up.
Because I was also about to have surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Good.
Sex change and everything went good?
Yeah. I took somebody with me. Took somebody with me, and
they exposed you.
We had to remove your testicles in the operation.
What?
Ma'am, calm down.
Oh, man.
Ma'am, calm down.
The comments on this YouTube video is going to be fun.
No, what did we? So yeah, went there the day before. Saw Tandy the day before the surgery, and it was pretty disheartening because I had, I've been on a few. I broke it in March, and then I've been on like after I thought it was healed. I never did my checkup like Tandy asked me to do, and so I've been getting on all summer, and was not feeling like myself, and so I went in and got an X-ray 9 months after I'd broken it, 10 months after, and the bones had never touched. Like they never grew back. It was literally, the bones were not healed at all. It was scar tissue holding them together. And I felt weird because you could push on the collarbone and it would kind of bend a little. And I was like, well, maybe my shoulder's just moving weird. But then I would do it on the other collarbone and that sucker was solid. Well, anyway, and it was on my lifter side. And so I'd been on 8, 10, 12 head with it like that and not going the normal 90 like I would, or just not feeling 90. And so anyways, got that X-ray after 10 months, saw that the bones weren't, and he said, yeah, it's some people don't experience a lot of pain when this happens. It's called a non-union. And so I said, I asked him, I said it would re-break easily, and he said it wouldn't even be called a re-break because it's not healed. It would be called a displacement. So it'd be more broke.
Kind of like that that State Farm commercial. Got your collarbone. Oh, you almost got it.
Oh, you almost got it. Got to be quicker than that. So I had broken this before March. I had broken it twice. There was like original break on a bull in New Braunfels. 3 weeks later, I re-broke it. The re-break of my collarbone back in like 2011 or something like that, one of the most painful experiences I'd ever had. So I was not looking forward to a quote-unquote displacement of a non-union. Like I really feel like that would probably be way more painful than just simply breaking the bone. And not to mention, he proved to me how little strength I had in that arm. So I put both arms straight out like this, and he put both his hands on top of my fist. I put my fist, just parallel to the ground. I put my arms, I balled up each fist. He puts a hand over my left fist, a hand over my right fist. And he said, don't let me push these arms down. So I hold them solid. He pushes down on both hands. My left arm stays steady as a rock. My right arm caves down to my side as if I were a child, as if Tandy were like pushing down on the hand of a child on my right arm. Like I had no strength after 10, 11 months of, 10 months of having broke this collarbone, 9 months, whatever.
Whatever you ride with.
That one. And
it does make sense though.
So like he's like,
I didn't want to say it, but I was like, man, he's lost a step.
Yeah. So anyways, super disheartening, but also encouraging because it's like, hey, we're gonna fix it tomorrow, So the next morning he's like, get here at 5. Don't eat anything. 5 a.m. Surgery's at 7. I get there at 5. I'm laying in the bed at 7. Haven't ate anything. He was like, he comes in at 9. He was like, we're waiting on the hardware. Somebody didn't go get the plate and screws.
Somebody had to run to Ace.
It's like, man, just go down to that Ace Hardware down there and get, Lowe's, Home Depot.
Like it wasn't in the building? Or
No,
it was in the building?
wasn't in
the
the
closet?
was not in the building.
Had to go to the medical supply.
Finally, at 11 o'clock, they rolled me back there.
Golly.
So 4 hours after we were supposed to start. Tandy was pretty upset. Somebody had dropped the ball. It wasn't Tandy.
Somebody got fired.
No.
I'm kidding.
They might get a bad review whenever they send me that follow-up, which they haven't sent.
Yeah, that Yelp review for that hospital.
The Yelp review for the hospital is not going to be great.
from Dale Brisby.
From Dale Brisby.
Dale B.
Anyways, whatever. They rolled me in there at 11, which puts me, not a big deal, except this is my theory, it put me in recovery with other people who had surgeries. So I didn't have like a dedicated nurse helping me with recovery. There was like multiple people in there because mine was later. Again, not a big deal, except for like I've had half a dozen surgeries. I know what you're supposed to feel like when you come out of those things. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be the best you feel for a week thereafter. It was right after surgery. They got you on all the good stuff. I wake up, I'm not on the good stuff. Not enough of it. Like, and I know it immediately. And I was like, oh, this is not good. It's a collarbone. Very simple. Like, I should not be in this much pain, and She was like, just a minute. And I can hear her through the curtain helping this other person who is obviously doing fine. He's talking like in this tone of voice, not in pain. He's completely awake. I was not. Yeah. I was like, whatever. If it's morphine, turn the drip up. Like, I ain't got any of it in my system. Like, I'm supposed to enjoy this right now. It's supposed to be the best I'm going to feel for the next week. And it was not. So, anyways, yeah, then Tandy comes in. I start throwing up. She's nowhere to be found. He helps me. Tandy's holding the deal. Tandy was the man. He's the man.
Hey, Tandy, one of your rodeo cowboys is complaining in here. Will you come help him?
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
It wasn't
like being one of the other people in the recovery room, like waking up and they're, man, is that Joe Brisby?
What am I on right now?
These drugs are awesome.
Hey.
Had I not had so many surgeries in the past, I would have, wouldn't have been. Like, if that had been my very first surgery ever, I'd be like, oh, this sucks, but I guess, okay, let's do it, But, like, having been, like, a yearly thing, and Tandy told me to stop fighting it, like the anesthesia. I used to fight it. No. It was like a fun thing, like, let me see how hard I can fight this. And, like, guys, I'm going to stay awake, put it in my arm, but watch me.
You can't get me down.
Yeah. And so I would try to fight it. And he was like, actually, it just messes with your, like, adrenaline and all that, speeds up your adrenaline. He's like, so just don't fight it. It'll make it more painful. I don't remember why. So, like, I had to stop fighting it. So, like, that was like the one thing. I was just, let the Sandman take you. So I let the Sandman take me. He took me earlier than normal this time. So.
Sandman, you're getting quick, Sandman.
Sandman came in quick today. So anyways, but then, like, once the nurse started, like, realizing what was going on, and it was all good. So, we'll probably take my stitches out tomorrow or today.
Nice.
Probably today sometime. Take my stitches out.
Shotgun.
And then I'll go through a month. I'll go through setting up at the NFR, not being able to pick anything up.
Oh, no. Good thing you have like 10 people working with you.
No kidding. Yeah, too bad you're not going to be there during setup, huh?
I mean, I can if you need me to.
I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so here we are. We're getting ready for the NFR. We're heading out. How do you feel, Mr.
I'm excited. Yeah. I was
Colonel
planning
Sanders?
on going to NFR anyways. Me and my dad had been talking about it. And I told him before I knew that I got the internship, I was like, I'm going with or without you. So you might as well just come with me. I'm like, let's book this trip and everything. And then, like, the next week you guys called me. I was like, hey, Dad,
Yeah.
I'm going and you're not
Is he going out?
He was talking to me a couple nights ago about figuring out when he was going to come out. I think he will.
Yeah.
You're going to stay in the room with you and Donnie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to get y'all a double.
I mean, Donnie was talking about just wanting, like, a queen.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're just going to share a bed.
So right now you both got it. You got a king.
I will tell you, though.
Okay.
Don't leave the lights on. Donnie likes a dark room. I'll share a hotel room with him every time we go somewhere.
Yeah.
Turn the light off, man.
Well, I don't enjoy
I'm
sleeping
kidding.
with the light on.
Actually, he's probably one of the hardest sleepers. He doesn't complain if I snore.
Yeah.
Carson snores.
Dale complains.
That's true.
He's a light
Yeah.
sleeper. Which, my bad, the other day, my keys were in my pocket. I came to the house at like 6 a.m. I figured y'all were still asleep. The keys were in my pocket, so when I step out, it's a push button start. The car, beep, 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 beep. Super loud.
Yeah.
I was going to text you, but I was like, nah, just in case it didn't wake him up.
I don't think it did.
That buzz
It
would.
was after my surgery.
No, this is like 2 nights ago. Or 2 mornings ago.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay, good.
Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Hmm?
It's like, I don't know what
Yeah,
I'm
no,
talking
yeah,
about.
I made that up.
You gonna make any Winnebago weeklies out there?
The NFR? Oh, yeah.
Daily.
Winnebago Weekly is a show on the backup channel. The channel is called Rodeo Time, which is confusing because on Dale Brisby, we have the show Rodeo Time. We also call, which is like the vlog, but we also call the podcast Rodeo Time. Well,
So
then
if you're
there's
gonna look
also
up the Winnebago Weekly. You got to type in Winnebago Weekly.
there's also the Rodeo Time channel, which is where you watch the show Winnebago Weekly.
But hey, don't get lost in the details, guys.
Don't get
lost in the details. Not that.
So
You guys got it.
yeah,
Just have a long sentence in your description of what you're looking for when it
Yeah.
comes to rodeo time.
yeah. Well, it's all good stuff, and Winnebago Weekly does have a different look. Very simple.
Yeah.
You know, I think also I like how you put little outlines of the people on the thumbnail.
Yeah, I need to start doing that.
If you're able
again.
to do that.
I do it sometimes. And then I
Like the
stop.
first 30 episodes had their own color thumbnail.
Each
Now
one
we're
was
on
a
to
different shade of blue.
Yeah, now it's a different shade of like
now they're
mustard.
all no, they're all the same shade. I use the
Okay.
set default.
Okay.
On Final Cut.
Gotcha. So, yeah, Winnebago Weekly. 43 episodes?
Somebody's-
44.
44 episodes.
Somebody's getting comfortable.
We've had 80.
What do
I
you
think this is episode 83 of the podcast.
Hey.
Are you getting comfortable?
No.
Will,
I
getting
don't know
complacent.
what he's talking about. How am I being complacent?
How long you been here,
Default?
Willie?
Default?
I wanted to make it look nice and like.
You just
Decent.
have
Average.
you have
Yeah.
a default setting every morning that you walk into?
No,
I know the default color on all the
That's what I'm
Winnebago
It's
saying.
Weeklies,
pastel
yeah.
peach because I wanted it to be consistent and look professional rather than it being 30 different shades of blue that doesn't look. That's probably actually being comfortable. Like, oh, this is blue that looks good enough. So if anything, I feel like I went in the opposite direction.
How long have you been here, Willie?
8 or 9 months now.
89 months.
8 or 9
Son
months.
of a gun. You've
8
not been
or
here
9
89 months.
8 or 9
That's
months.
like literally 7 years.
Hey,
Quick math.
quick maths.
It's a little over 7 years and some change. So
Don't
let's talk
try.
about that because that's coming up. Sometimes interns get complacent after. It's like a 3-week thing. That's what I've noticed. There's a 3-week mark.
Mm-hmm.
Some interns haven't made it 3 weeks. Did you even get to meet Everett?
No.
Oh, that's right. We called you after Everett.
Yeah.
That day.
We got 2 coming.
We do?
You're going to help. You're going to be with Carlos. Well, the second one we haven't heard from yet.
We're going to have to change the name of our other bull.
No, there's
Oh, yeah.
intern is Carlos, and then the bull is Carlos, the man of love. There's a big difference.
CTML.
So, yeah, don't get lost in the details.
Well, if there's 2 Carloses, hey, make sure you feed Carlos. Yeah, fed him this morning. No, take the intern to lunch.
No, if you said make sure you feed Carlos, you're talking about the intern. If you say make sure you feed Carlos, the man of love, you're talking about the bull.
That's just too much.
Well,
But Carlos, the man of love, now has turned out with the other bucking bulls, so we don't have to really worry about
Oh, yeah.
feeding him. We just feed them all.
He's been
Well-
a problem, too. He's starting all kinds of crap out there.
Yeah, he's a little
yeah.
jerk.
So, anyways, back to complacent interns. How you feel about your 3-week mark? You're gonna be in Vegas.
Yeah. What is today?
Today's Tuesday,
Oh.
so a week from today.
Do you see his watch?
Yeah, you see that?
We went to Walmart last night and they
Hey,
copied me.
Why don't you stop interrupting your boss and let him finish his sentences?
Sorry.
Yeah, Willie,
Sorry.
Getting comfortable over here.
getting complacent. Anyways, today's Tuesday. You're gonna be in
Yeah.
Vegas on the 3-week mark.
And it's your birthday.
Vegas isn't a place to
Yeah.
get complacent.
What?
Yeah, I feel like if I got complacent in Vegas, you'd just probably leave me.
Yeah, so that's why we got kind of a zero tolerance for bullshit out there and here.
Yeah,
And
Colonel
back
Sanders.
here too. So
Yeah, some people
It's
get
kind-
lucky.
yeah. So there's I mean, like sometimes people make mistakes. Like I'm not gonna be just, I don't know. It's case by case, but usually we got a zero tolerance for just
Shenanigans.
riffraff. I'll say that. Yeah. So anyway, have fun. Just not too much.
Yes, sir.
There is such a thing. So, I know the song like really lays it out there. Too much fun. What's that mean? It's like too much money. There's no such thing. Nah, not the case. Yeah,
False.
there is such a thing as too much fun. So just be careful of it. But anyway, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. It is work though. It's neat. It's neat to get to travel for work.
Mm-hmm.
But work, man, like that's the thing. Like people always like daydream. I don't know. Somebody said something to me a long time ago. God created us for work. You know what I'm saying? He created 7 days in the week, and there's one day made for rest. and getting right with him, the Sabbath. But the other 6 days, you're literally made for work. And so I embraced that a long time ago. Like, it's okay to lean into work. Sometimes it kind of sucks because, like, there's days, no matter what you're doing in life. Craig Cameron told me this too. You could be put on this world, on this earth by God to be an astronaut. He came to you in a dream as a kid, and then you're an astronaut. But there's still going to be those days where you might wish you were doing something else or feel like you should be doing something else. Like, you're doing the thing you were put on this earth for, there'll be days where you feel like you wish you were doing something else.
Yeah.
So if you keep that in mind, and then keep in mind that God made you for work, I think that it gives you a good perspective on just executing on what you have in front of you. Fortunately, we live in a country where every person should at some point get to do the job they want. Now, I think there's early on, like sometimes depending on your situation, like you might have to work in a chicken farm for a time to get to where your dream job, which might be editing videos and being a bull rider, but you've got to go through that chicken farm phase to get to where you want to go. So it's going to be different for everybody. And, everybody's got a different situation because you can't control where you're born. I think the grateful thing we have is that we were born in this country. If you're born in this country, then and there's some similar countries out there, maybe they're listening, but there's a lot of opportunity. For instance, the internet, cuts out the middleman. Can you imagine what our granddad could have done with the internet?
All right. Which one?
Either one of them, but specifically the entrepreneurial one.
Oh, man.
Like if he had the internet growing up, but he had to build his business the old-fashioned way.
It'd be like Jimmy Buffett.
He could have been. Well, Jimmy Buffett did it without the internet, so.
I know, but like a cooler Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, he could have done more than what he did, probably.
Which he already did a lot.
Jimmy Buffett could have done more than what he did had he had the internet.
I'm not
in his
talking about
prime.
just money. I'm just saying business.
Yeah,
savvy.
And life's not all about money, but we're talking about when we're going out there to work, you're going out there to make money. So, the point is, I'm saying that life is not about money. We should not gauge success through a lens of money. If you do that, then you will lose, ultimately. And when I say lose, you might make more money, but you might end up unhappy. The reason why I'm using like my granddad, for instance, in this scenario with had he had the internet, because we're talking about opportunity. And it allows you the opportunity to make what money you need by doing what you enjoy. Or more specifically, doing what you're at peace with. So I think the word happiness is thrown around a lot, where I think the word peace is what should be used. What I mean by that is there's a lot of times where you might be doing what God put you on this earth for. You might be doing the job that you've always wanted to do, where you're not necessarily going to be happy, but you can be at peace with where you're at.
Content.
Yeah, you can, yes, this moment at this job I was built for isn't the most enjoyable of all the moments, but I'm at peace doing it because I know, I've got perspective. It's not, for instance, chicken farming.
Yeah.
It's not, working at Stericycle. No offense to someone out there working there,
No, those are good people. Just didn't like working in the hospital.
Yeah. So like there's jobs like that. For me, it might be, when we've worked in the feed yard or
I do tell myself that a lot. At least this isn't Crow Hollow.
Yeah. At least we're not in the feed yard.
Yeah.
So I think that, and that's perspective. And so you can allow yourself perspective on anything in life and help you get back to a position of being grateful for what you've got. And that should in turn help you work harder, to maintain what you've got or get where you want to go. So Donnie's calling.
Answer it.
Ask him to defend himself about Moon of Desperados.
Hello.
Hey, are you in the office?
Kind of. We're in the middle of a podcast.
My bad.
It's all good. What do you need?
I forgot to put this thumbnail on my computer It's on my hard drive there. Okay, I want you guys to send it to me.
You got 2 of them on your hands.
Yeah. What's this about you not liking Moon of the Desperados,
Who said that?
Leroy?
You did.
I don't think I ever said anything about not liking the Desperados.
He said you thought it
You
was
said-
okay.
You said, it's all right. I mean,
Personally don't remember making that call. I would tell you if I thought something was bad. But
Yeah.
I think something's bad.
Yeah,
I
he
think
does that a
that
lot
this
whenever we
round is
watch
bad.
something on YouTube.
Yeah, he
Okay,
does.
fair enough.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll get somebody on your hard drive and send you that thumbnail, or we'll just put it on the YouTube video.
You bet.
So, all right, my man.
you did say it wasn't your favorite.
What's that?
You did say that you were like, it's not my favorite.
Man, I don't think I said that.
You did, because then we watched the Bull Bash Del Rio 91, and you're like, yeah, I like that one.
It's all right,
Yeah.
Donnie. We'll let you defend yourself next podcast. So.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, have a good day.
5 Minute Desperados hater.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
So there it is.
It's because he's talking to you, because he knows how much it means to you.
I'm telling you, him and Kevin have this competition going on between each other.
No,
you
I'm
know what
kidding.
2048 is? The
Yeah,
game where you do the numbers. Well, we got Donnie on that. He does not even play solitaire anymore. That's all he does is 2048.
Yeah,
go
no,
hard.
Like
we're on
hard.
Mm-hmm.
on the plane headed to California. He's playing it, and I was like, what you got there? And he's telling me about it. He's like, yeah, download it. Play it.
It's all he does. And like he has
It's
like this
fun.
insane. He was horrible, and now he's got the highest score.
Donnie does?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it goes between him and Kevin. Like I can't do it anymore.
For a moment, I played Block Puzzle.
I remember that.
Yeah, I saw my niece playing it. I thought it was kind of neat looking, and I played it on the trip to Indianapolis a little bit, just because like those long days, like I would lay down at night. Like it was when we had literally 9 hours in a row, solid. It was the busiest booth we've ever had, ever. And
The
National
the
FFA convention.
FFA deal.
I was a tired little Willie.
Yeah, we were tired little kibbles. And anyway, so what we did was I played that. I don't like playing those games. I don't like playing like games on my phone just because that's time I could be dedicating to like any number of the apps where people are trying to communicate with me.
Or sleep.
I could text people. I could DM people. I could be posting. I could be tweeting. I've now got Discord. I got a Discord. Look up Dale Brisby's Rodeo Time
What's
on
that?
there.
Yeah, what's
It's like a chat room. So I just started it this morning, and there's already like 30, 40 people in there. And like we're just, what?
Can I join it?
Dude, it's real talk. Dude, get a Discord.
Sweet.
Look, right here.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
say
get
some
into
dumb
Discord
stuff.
right
I
now.
was just thinking,
Yeah, can we say something,
What are
everybody?
you thinking?
one of my favorite movies, Out Cold. Have you ever been on one of them chat rooms?
Well, actually, in the movie Out Cold, he says, "You ever been on one of them lesbian chat rooms?" No. He's like, no, me neither, man.
Wait a minute.
Carson, does Dale Brisby follow you back on Instagram?
No, and I'm still upset about it.
So right,
You just followed me yesterday.
You want to hear something
Yeah,
crazy?
you followed me right back too.
No, I didn't. I waited 20 minutes. Let you sweat it for a second.
I'm in this Discord.
I
like,
did.
I'm in here getting after it.
I never followed you.
What are people saying?
We're just talking. Some people we're talking about the Netflix show. One girl, Dixie Rose, is asking me about how to be an intern. Jules, then Jules and Dixie Rose talk about how they both want to be interns for a second. This
Multiple people can talk at once.
emo
Everyone's
guy,
talking.
everyone, dude.
It's not like AOL back in the day.
No, it's not like it's a chat room. It's not like chat.
So like,
It's not DMs. It's just like, so like you could get on there, like, so it would be open. Like, so I haven't, during this podcast, I haven't been on it. And there's like a bunch of messages since then.
that's gonna get ridiculously full.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like I'm in one with Gary V. Gary V's the one that told me to do it. He was like, you need a Discord. So like I'm in one with him, and it's like, but it's a neat place to like learn. So like the reason why I get in the Discord with Gary Vee is like for V friends, like he's got those NFTs. It's a whole nother podcast, or 27 if you know or don't know what, and non-fungible tokens.
Cool.
So essentially you can like buy like art without and it exists digitally, and then it would be recorded on blockchain.
So like a GIF.
A GIF, would be one. Like, so NBA Top Shot, you can instead of they're one of the big ones that, you know, one of the leaders. Instead of owning like a card, you could own like a clip of someone, of like LeBron James dunking a basketball, and then you own that clip digitally.
So if anybody uses it, you get paid.
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of a rock that like sold for like stupid amount of money. That's kind of like one of the things. Gary Vee has these V friends. He literally drew these characters, like the compassionate cowboy, and he drew a picture of a cowboy, and then he sold it. So his and you can own it digitally.
Is he an artist, or is it just like?
No, I mean, yeah, he did better than what I could do, but it's neat because he drew it, not necessarily because he's like a Picasso, quote unquote. So anyways, his NFTs, non-fungible tokens, V friends, are like, they're not only exist as art digitally, but they also exist as like a ticket into a conference, which is called VCon. You guys play like Call of Duty or something?
Mm-hmm.
So like a skin for your player, that would be an NFT.
Okay.
So you buy a skin for it, but it exists digitally. So people don't understand NFTs. They don't understand why someone would buy art
When you say it that way, I get it.
digitally.
Yeah.
But in Call of Duty, people have been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, or in Snapchat, I imagine now you can probably buy certain things for your little person to wear.
Bitmoji.
Your Bitmoji. Like that would be an NFT.
Yeah, so it's not really a new concept.
Correct.
It's something that's been around since.
People,
Internet
it
started.
blows people's mind because they're like, I just don't understand why someone would buy something digitally.
You were doing it
Web
5 years ago.
That's exactly what we do on Instagram.
Yeah.
We post pictures of it, only exists digitally.
Mm-hmm.
How many people have pictures on their Instagram that maybe the phone is lost that they were originally on? They never got it printed, but
Yeah,
the picture's still there.
I only have one picture.
And it's got a value. There's a value attached to it because that person who posted it, you know, they haven't deleted it, so they obviously care about that picture being there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I only
So,
have
like-
one out of like the 20 I've posted that is an actual picture.
It's just crazy that it makes sense to me, but there's still people that I talk to about it. They're just like, I just don't understand it. Like, you don't, like, people only exist digitally sometimes these days. You know, like everybody, like, they care about how many likes they get on this digital platform. Like, if you don't, like, why is it so crazy that someone would buy a piece of art that only exists digitally?
Mm-hmm.
When
How do they protect that from like being counterfeited? I feel like it'd be pretty easy.
blockchain.
What is that?
Blockchain is like, it's recorded like globally. So like blockchain, it's like servers like all over the world. So you can't just like they're all connected. So like you can't just destroy this one server where it exists and where the information exists, and then you've won, and you've deleted the fact that Dale Brisby owns these 4 NFTs that Gary Vee made. So blockchain is where like kind of the future of stuff is. Like cryptocurrency, whoever owns like these like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that stuff, like that's where it's recorded. Is like blockchain. So blockchain is not cryptocurrency. It's like it's a digital. It's hard for me to explain it. I don't fully understand
digital
it.
Fort Knox.
But like eventually like real estate deals will be recorded on blockchain.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Sounds
like
more like a digital Area 51. Like nobody really knows what it does, but it's
it's
there.
more like
It's there
the
for
way
sure.
I understand it's more like a digital bulletin board
Okay.
where
A
you
record
can.
book.
So
Yeah,
there's like wallets recorded on blockchain. And there's different kinds of wallets. Like I got a MetaMask wallet, I got a Bitsky wallet, and like they're recorded on blockchain, and like some of them, maybe all of them, are public, and you can go on and like see. You could go and see what I own in like on blockchain. Like
How'd you get into this stuff?
Gary V.
Okay.
Dude, it's like if you follow him, like all of his podcasts are about NFTs. They're all about like blockchain and the NFT space. So there's a lot of art being produced that you can flip right now. Like I bought these 4 V friends right now. Like I'll just tell you, like I spent, I don't know. Well, I'm not going to tell you what I spent on them. I didn't spend very much on them, but I could sell them all for like $200,000 right now.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you think Leroy could make like one of these NFT kits?
Part of the reason his number one, Gary V drew them. Number one, Gary V but second, his NFTs have this other attached value. Their access into VCon
You don't have
for
to give
3
them
years.
back, though, right?
No, for 3 years.
Forever.
So it's a 3-year ticket into this conference. After the 3rd year, what I anticipate is that they'll still be worth more than what I paid for them.
Yeah.
They might drop in value a little because
They've
the
been-
3 years that they're able to be used for that conference are going to be up, but I believe they'll still hold a lot of value.
Yeah.
Now, I also gained with one of them not only admission into the conference, but access to him in the form of a FaceTime. It's called the FaceTime Fly. He drew this fly. If you bought this FaceTime Fly, you get 3 FaceTimes with him once a year for 3 years.
Dang.
Yesterday was my first one.
That's pretty cool.
So
How'd it go?
it went good. We just visited, and that's where he told me, like, you need to start a Discord. And that's where, so I get on Discord every morning to watch like updates on these like V friends and like little things. And he'll tell you other NFTs to look out for, you know, but I don't really invest in a lot of like other stuff cause I don't know. But usually if Gary Vee tells me to do something, I do it. I've been following him since 2015. A lot of what I do is because of what he has said to do. So like if you want to ask me about social media, that's usually like when people do or when I give talks, like I've done probably half a dozen talks on social media that typically they're all like either the first or the last thing I'll say is like, this is what I think, but what I think came from Gary Vee as far as like executing, how to execute either running a business or social media or investing. So he's always been right about like, when the internet first became a thing in the late 90s, early 90s, like he's just ahead of the game. And so if you watch what he's doing, it's usually going to like do what he does essentially. And he'll say that. He's like, don't just listen to what I say, but do what I do. And that's where everything that I've done comes from. So, but I'm not afraid to like tell people that like as a secret. And he's not either. Like he'll do it. He'll say like, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. And I don't mind if you steal it, you know, because, and one of his quotes is, ideas are shit. Execution is everything. Like, dude, there are $1 million ideas every day. The 4 of us at this table could come up with $10 million ideas in the next hour. Dozen, maybe 20 $1 million ideas. But that doesn't matter because execution is what matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guarantee you each one of us have had in our lifetime multiple $1 million ideas. But for whatever reason, we didn't execute on them. Maybe we didn't want to, and that's why they didn't come to fruition. It's not because it was a bad idea. So anyways, that's why he doesn't mind sharing his secrets, and that's why I don't mind sharing mine either, just because. I mean, like, and what we're doing isn't a secret. Anybody else could have gone out and done it. We make videos.
Yeah.
Everybody's got an iPhone.
Yeah. That's where most of our videos are made.
Mm-hmm.
All the weeklies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think two of the weeklies have been using the cameras.
My most viral video was on an iPhone. 67-year-old rancher. The very first one,
Yeah.
iPhone.
That thing's freaking gold.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the most views, you know? Yeah. So anyway, that's NFTs. They're just, I mean, I'm not trying to make this podcast like a crypto thing. We just kind of went there.
No, it's
like,
interesting.
It's interesting. It is. And there's a lot of NFT projects out there that like are going to go to crap.
Yeah.
So like he just drew it on a piece of paper, took a picture, and put it on the internet.
Yeah. put it on blockchain.
Do
Put it on.
Do you need a license to be like an artist, like a certified artist, and to have an NFT, or can anyone go out and make
An NFT?
Yeah,
No, yeah, anybody can.
So like Leroy could tool up something and make a digital.
Yeah.
100%.
Cool. Dude, you should do
that.
that.
On a briefcase right now. It's probably one of the cooler things I've made.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you could, I think, what could happen is like as an artist on
the original's already sold, but
okay, so he did that too.
Actual.
He sold his original also at like something auction, Robin's auction. It was like some like a female name auction, Christie's auction. He sold the originals there. One of them sold for like $1 million, but like that owning that is cool but the main purpose of them was the NFT.
Mm-hmm.
And so the FaceTime fly, there was like he drew one fly, but then he created like I think it was like maybe 30 or 40 existed as NFTs. They were numbered like one of 35, 2 of 35, 3 of well, I bought one of those.
Nice.
And so that's how I got. And so you could essentially do that. I thought it would be all the art in my room in there, the handprint stuff. Like I thought it might be neat to turn those into an NFT one day.
Yeah.
And there's so many of each. But then, you know, there's like a marketing attached to it. There's like, but you should research the space.
You could do the marketing now, I feel like.
You should.
I should probably post more than once a month on social media though.
I don't know that, and I don't know that the marketing is like, I mean, we would do that together. So like you're the artist and like I would help you if you wanted to release an NFT. Like,
because I'm about to get back into painting again too. I just bought all my canvases and everything.
Yeah. But that would be a way to do it. You know, like it exists. Like
sell the original and then
maybe you
digital print.
Maybe you sell the original for like a charity or something. You know, and then you sell your NFTs as profit. The other thing that's
like, Mark Maggiore.
The other thing that's unique about these NFTs, and like this is just cool, whether you're ever going to buy one or not. It's just a neat thing to think about. Is like you're talking about Mark Maggiore or whatever.
Yeah.
So like you sell one of those, like you sell that canvas to whoever, you make money one time.
No, I'm talking about turning them into prints too. Like
Mark does.
Sell the original and then sell the prints.
Okay, you sell the prints, you make money one time. Gary V, so like there's people out there swapping NFTs.
Yeah.
Those people that are trying to buy mine, if they did, Gary V gets a percentage of that every time.
So every time it gets sold.
It sells. And you had to buy them
3 ways.
You had to buy them
sell the prints, NFTs
with
and
crypto.
The original. Oh, snap.
So I had to buy them with Ethereum.
I don't have any crypto, but I'll get
it's pretty easy. You get a Coinbase account, and then
we should start. Like
I've got a little.
Yeah.
But the point is like, dude, he made like, and I think it's a public. He made like $50 million off of selling these NFTs.
Dang.
Now he leveraged his brand. Like he'd been hustling his brand, and like he's got 9.5 million followers on Instagram. So like he leveraged his brand that he's been building over the years. Like he didn't just launch an NFT project as a nobody and it got $50 million. Like he'd been working on telling the world who he was for the last decade and a half. 20 years, and now all of a sudden he's built up to this point where he built this project. But the point is, like, I'd be anxious to see like how he made how much money he made like during the launch and how much money he's made since the launch, because of that every transaction he gets a percentage of. And there's a floor.
I mean, heck, even if it's just a few $100, I'd be cool with that.
I want to say the floor is like 8 Ethereum right now. The floor price. It was like a reverse Dutch auction, which I knew nothing about. Like when you bought them, you had 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And the price started high and it would go down.
Oh, dang.
Which is like, I had to be watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, like the new floor for all these V-Friends is like 8 Ethereum. Ethereum's at like $4,200.
Dang.
So 8 times $4,000. 32.
Yeah.
32,000 and change. It's like the base price for a
son of a gun.
But now all of a sudden he's got.
Yeah, it's gonna cost about 10 Ethereum to get this.
I want to say I want to say like I don't know that you can buy like NFTs with just USD. I think you got to buy them with crypto.
I'm cool with that. I'll figure it out. As when I say I'll figure it out, I'll bring my laptop to your house after work. And,
See, man, that's where I don't know enough about it to explain. That's why I haven't talked. That's why I don't talk about it. To
I don't even know how to
Yeah.
spell any of it. So
that's why I haven't talked about it at all. It's not because I'm not embarrassed, and I'm not trying to like keep it a secret. I just
Yeah.
don't know what the
Yeah.
heck it is. I'm just learning it,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been learning it for 6 months now, since May, how many months that is. Yeah,
you told me about it a while back. You talked for like 30 minutes, but then there's a bird flying by.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, is that nope, that's not a red tail.
Well,
That's a pigeon.
I'm going to that conference, so like I'm not going to sell mine right now, but like it'll be like 3 years before I sell mine.
Yeah.
And if I did, like I wouldn't get the other FaceTime with him. I wouldn't
Yeah.
get
Year
you know.
3 that you would go, it's going to be finally they're going to have that bull riding that they do have enough added. You'd be like, I'm going to sell them on this one.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Sell them, make that money, go to the bull riding, make 20 million.
if you guys out there in the citizens of Winnebago that are listening, if you've lost interest, like I apologize. On the other hand, like this is stuff that's coming,
Yeah.
whether people like it or know it or not. You know, like stuff on blockchain, stuff with cryptocurrency.
Doge.
Um,
To the moon.
To the moon.
those are that's a thing.
No,
you know?
I know.
Like,
No, for real.
It's funny and it's a joke, but it's also
Those
kind
are
of
a
People
thing.
have made a lot
Yeah.
of money on this stuff.
Yeah.
those are a
no
thing.
idea what you're talking about.
Well, but like Dogecoin, you haven't heard anything about Dogecoin. Anyway.
I hadn't really been on social media
Dogecoin,
or the internet much lately.
Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin and Ethereum are arguably the two more popular cryptocurrencies right
Mhm.
now. But
No
essentially,
Bitcoin.
it's just anyway.
That's
There's
cool.
no telling how the government is going to one day try to regulate it, but right now it's frustrating for them because they can't.
Have you seen those machines like in gas stations?
No.
You can exchange. They had one. I think it's in Archer.
Oh, yeah, in the
It's like-
bathroom? Like the men's room?
No.
Put coins in it and you get a balloon?
No.
It's not a balloon, buddy.
Yeah. It's not a balloon.
No, I'm kidding.
It's like right at the very front of the store when you come in. It looks like an ATM, but you can exchange USD for.
I thought it was an
Bitcoin.
ATM.
Yeah.
And then you can do both.
It might be an
Maybe
actual
you can.
ATM. But
Yeah.
it looks. I just saw it and it was like
Mhm.
exchange money for Bitcoin, and that was like what they
So,
had as advertisement.
One interesting part that I thought was interesting was like if they tokenize real estate. So like you could own a very small percentage of a piece of real estate. Stuff
Mhm.
like that,
Mm-hmm.
which it would be recorded on the blockchain. So you don't necessarily own $2,500. You would own $2,500 worth of this
Property.
real estate. And so then that
So is all that,
$2,500,
taxable? Like, can the IRS track any of that?
that's why there's so much. That's why the government is kind of like you can't own Bitcoin.
Once you turn it into U.S.
in China.
dollars, then yeah, it'll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
pay
Once you
on
turn it
that.
into
Once you sell
USD,
it.
then all of a sudden you gotta. But like you can't. There's communist countries where you're not allowed to own
Yeah.
it. That's how they. But
No way.
Yeah, they don't have Bitcoin
You are not
in my
owning
country.
any of Bitcoin.
sounds more like a
Country
Russian. I doubt you can own it there either. But I don't know. I don't know what the
talking about?
future is for our government. How that I don't know.
Mm.
But eventually, yeah, the government's gonna put their hand in it. So because that's how you own. That's how you regulate, and that's how you really have power over people is when you have power over the money.
Right.
Yeah.
So take away the money from the government. What do we need them for?
Exactly. That's why eventually something will happen. So
They're just gonna flip the switch and turn the internet off. Is that possible?
yeah.
It is.
It's a big.
I bet it is.
Could you imagine there actually is just one big?
It's just
switch?
like a big one. It is.
All right, guys, it's time.
Surely not. There's enough private companies and everything now, right? No.
I have no idea how that works. That's out of my job description.
I don't know, but you got there fast.
I just work here.
What?
I'll just say that.
Oh no, I was just.
You
I
got
was,
there
in
fast.
my mind, I was thinking, well, if I sell my art, Biden's gonna take a lot of it. Wait, he might not.
Yeah.
That's why. That's what.
I mean, yeah, if they don't have any regulations or
the
anything.
the problem is it's got to stay in it. Once you
Yeah.
like who else is gonna, if you can like,
What if I go to Mexico and get it out though?
but if you, yeah, essentially. But like, if you can keep swapping stuff with that cryptocurrency, that's how you would avoid the taxes.
Right. Like buy a
That's
house
what
with
they're.
cryptocurrency.
But once you
pay somebody with it, then
once you put it
you
back
get taxed for
into
the house. But
once you put it back into the U.S. dollar,
That's when they're going to tax.
then
you.
all of a sudden, that's
Bringing it
when all of a
back.
sudden you're going to start getting.
Yeah.
be awesome. That would be really cool. Be able to buy real estate without having to
Money laundering.
pay
scheme.
taxes. I mean, you got to pay obviously.
Well,
the
another
county
thing to
taxes and
consider
everything
too
else,
is how competitive it might get, because then all of a sudden you can have people in other countries buy it with that. You see what I'm saying? Anyways,
Yeah.
Some homie
We're
in
getting-
Italy
we're
is
getting-
owning his house in Winnebago.
whew,
No, you got my wheels turning now. I'm gonna go home and
That is crazy.
it's a
dive
thing,
into-
y'all. It's a thing. I'm not saying like I'm
Yeah.
not like making some statement that like
Well, I'm just thinking I have so many pictures of all my artwork
I think that
that I don't have to like do any art to actually sell any right now. I have so much already on there.
the thing is like the U.S. dollar is
I'm
worth
making this about me, okay?
the U.S. dollar is worth less and less every day,
Yeah, very true.
especially every time they print or AKA kick the can down the road. Like printing money is like that's like it's I don't know. Our dollar is worth less every single day. And so that's why people are starting to look towards like stuff like cryptocurrency and gold and land and because that's what's going like that's a real thing that's happening. You can't just print money and there be no consequences.
Yeah.
And essentially that's what everybody's hoping for, And it's neat that everybody's getting this little bump and this little check, and that's great, but where did it come from? That's not a good thing. Like that's what people should be. People are just like they get the check and it's like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, is it? Because it's just a Band-Aid. It's kicking the can down the road, meaning like the problem is going to come back.
Got that check, and then you're like, but wait, I got to pay $5
It's the same thing they did.
gas now?
It's the same thing they did in 09.
Yeah.
It should have been worse in 08 and 09, but they kicked the can down the road, and now we're dealing with it again, and they're kicking the can down the road again.
And it's gonna be the same thing.
So there's gonna like there's problems in the future, and so like that's what people are like. Well, for instance, like your dollar this year, if you have $1, hypothetically, some people are saying next year what that $1 is able to buy. Next year, it's going to be able to buy 86 cents worth of stuff comparative to what it can buy this year. That's
Yeah,
a big. That's a
crazy.
big difference. So,
In 1
anyways, but Jesus is the name above all names. That's where my hope is. So,
Anybody ordering Leroy leather? The price is going up a little bit. So.
you're having a hard time getting leather, aren't you?
I'm having the same
actually,
problem with rosin.
it's not a hard time getting the leather. I'm not right now. I mean, I'm Leroy, so I get it pretty easy. But I'm kidding. They're having a hard time getting enough in. People aren't killing cows yet.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's not. Well, I'm not gonna say that.
it's all
Still
good.
quality leather, but it's not as good as it was.
Hopefully, like we're just gonna my plan is like stay positive and do the best that I can with what I've got. Get as involved as much as I can, with these issues by voting, by, just, and that's all we can all do, so just make educated decisions. So, but worrying about it to the point of anxiety and depression is not a good solution. Meeting challenges head on with a positive attitude is kind of how I choose to go about my day to day. I deal with a lot of it through sarcasm and memes. So that's kind of how I made it through 2020, and that's how I'm making it through 2021. Prayer, scripture, sarcasm, and memes. That's kind of my 4 go-tos, So that's my suggestion to you guys. But I will say, and this is just kind of it's not necessarily something I want to talk about on the podcast, but you like keeping this company afloat so that I can take care of the 15, 16 people that walk through those doors day to day. Like that's my priority. I had 5 minutes with my hero yesterday, and that's what I asked him.
So Jesus?
That's my savior, also a big hero. Gary Vee is like a role model.
Yeah, there you go.
So I had 5 minutes with, and that was it's like, all right, who could you talk to? You got that one phone call, and all right, I need to talk to Gary Vee. That's what, and so I had that, and I said,
cool.
and that's my question. I want to keep with what's coming in the future. I want to keep this company afloat and keep my 16, 17 employees. Hopefully in the future, 25 employees.
And he said, buy
rolling,
NFTs.
take care. No, he said his immediate was like, well, have yourself like a rainy day fund, And so what that looks like is what I'm trying to decipher now, because we didn't go into great detail, but then he said, start a Discord for and that's more of like an execution type thing on the brand side of things. So that's what I did immediately.
Yeah, I still have my piggy bank from like junior high. I haven't opened it in a while.
Yeah.
So one of those you gotta smash.
So he said, and I asked him specifically, I'll just tell you about the phone call. I said, so does that mean should I put like all the cash into crypto? And he said, no, I think for your rainy day fund, it's fine if it's 20-80, 20% crypto, 80% United States dollar. Because you're not going to be able to pay people in crypto. You need to be able to pay people if everything was to hit zero. You need to be able to pay people with the dollar right now. And he said for the next 2, 4, 6, 10 years, he thinks that the dollar will be fine. So that's promising. That's exciting. So
I need to get a safety deposit box.
Or bury it.
Yeah.
Safety deposit box is like bank knows everything. The only thing I have in safe deposit box is great granddad's pistol.
Pistola.
Oh, I remember hearing stories about that.
Yeah,
That's
he was a
baller.
Texas Ranger.
Yeah,
that's the pistol
that's
that he
cool.
used. That's
And
the only thing.
he had a
I have in
matching
safe.
rifle.
It wasn't matching. He also had a rifle
Okay.
that Pat Boone, our cousins who we named Boone after, they have the rifle.
Okay.
The other side of the family.
Oh,
That's
nice.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So like
That's somebody
his
else
name
got
was
it.
Richard Koch, and Richard Koch's like had like he had a daughter, Flora Best, and the lineage from that side is who got the rifle.
Okay.
So
I thought it was like one of those like deals where like Colt manufacturer made the revolver and then made
Like matching numbers.
I thought so too.
You know what I'm
until I
talking
went
about?
to Pat's
and then you saw it
house
was
and I
just-
saw the
yeah.
rifle.
I mean, it's
Yeah, I
still
was about
cool.
to
We
say, I
have
thought
that.
Still
it was-
cool.
That's what I thought, and I thought they were.
No, I
Yeah.
They
thought
shoot
that
the
too.
same. They shoot the same bullet. Is what it is.
Is it 4440?
Maybe. Yes.
Yes.
Dang, Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders knows what's up.
How'd you know?
He knows guns and
Well,
horses.
it's
I'm
gotta
a
be an
gun nut.
ammunition that's compatible for both.
How did you know it was a 4440?
It's the round that won the West. It won the 45.
Colonel Sanders.
Mad respect.
That's why he's in charge of the ammunition.
That's a deep track.
Ammunitions.
I want to talk about deep
Ballistic
tracks.
rosin.
That's a deep track.
He knows
That's not a hit.
He's punchy.
That's a deep track. That's history. 4440. Dang, son.
That's the first pistol. I
Paying
ever shot
attention.
with Pop. He's like, "Hey, come shoot this."
Golly. Yeah, it's a Colt 4440 is what it is. Man. Yeah, I had it like appraised. It's worth like 20,000 right now.
Sure.
I bet.
Maybe
No, that
worth
was, I was about to say that was like 5
maybe
years
worth
ago.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6
because
years ago.
not necessarily because the gun value went up, but because the U.S. dollar value has gone down since then. God, it's a whole nother conversation. See, like we think about our dollar as like this almighty thing that's
Yeah.
like just worth like all that. But for instance, gold,
Mm-hmm.
the price of gold has gone up. No, not necessarily. The value of the dollar has gone down.
Yeah.
Gold is gold.
Mm-hmm.
Like if one piece of gold buys you 1 acre of land in 1930, one piece of gold will buy you 1 acre of land in
It's the value of the
2021,
dollar that's fluctuating.
89 years later. It's the value of the dollar that changed, not
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
But we all think like, oh man, that went way up in value. No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
What has happened to gold that made it go up in
Yeah.
value? Like, because there's only a finite amount of gold.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go make more gold. Well, you can make more money. You just print more. They print it every day.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So like we've thought about money in this way but other countries don't do that
Yeah.
because right now like our currency is the main currency of the world.
There is. I forget the
That's
example we used.
that's what's tricky.
Yeah.
That's where we can't get arrogant.
Yeah.
Because what if one day it's not? Then everything changes. That's when stuff changes.
Yeah.
And a lot of this
go back to
is
bartering.
also based around oil, which is like oil plays a major role in this. And if we just if everyone stops, if we stop using oil, that will affect also. Anyway, there's so much going on. Again, I don't talk about this, especially like on podcasts, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it. Clearly, there's probably some people out there shaking their heads saying like this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But I know that it all matters. I do.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
They're all factors.
They're all factors.
The total equation. Yeah.
And anyway, so anyhow, but yeah.
It's all good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're just navigating life. Like, this is what we were born into. You know what I'm saying? Like, our parents, you know, and their parents were born at a certain time in life, and then, you know, like they had to deal with their issues. You know, like our parents had to deal with Desert Storm, and then our grandparents had to deal with, you know,
Vietnam and Korea.
Vietnam.
And their parents did World War II.
Yeah. And then theirs were World War One.
Mm.
So like, there's just all these. Like, can you imagine being born, like being a teenager in the 30s
Heck,
during the
no.
Great Depression,
And then having to go fight in World War II.
and then having
Those
to-
are some
yeah,
tough
and
stuff.
then
You're
that's why.
using
Yeah, can
World
you
War
imagine
I guns?
Yeah.
watching like? The other thing too is like nobody ever really talks about like what if we lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a comeback story? World War II is a comeback story.
I was thinking
for the
about that
US.
though, but like we won,
Yeah.
and like growing up, it's like, oh man, like we're the U.S., we win them all. Well, like,
But at the beginning, it didn't look like we were going to win it. Like,
and then what if we didn't?
yeah, like
Or what if-
1941 U.S. compared to 1945 U.S., two completely different forces. It's
What if there's a
insane.
World War III?
I mean, it's bound to happen.
Is it
eventually.
guaranteed?
Might not be in our lifetime.
Is it
but-
guaranteed that the U.S. wins it just because we're the U.S.? No, it's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the
a lot of
thing with
secret-
we got to
today's,
step
like,
up.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan has all these you know, he
Come
has
on.
that. What's that deal?
Camo?
I haven't said it in a while. You say it all the time, but like, hard times create hard men, and hard men create soft times, and soft times create soft men, and soft men create hard times.
Just a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Yep.
It's a
I
circle.
feel like right now we still got some hard asses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Tim Kennedy,
we got
Jocko.
there's some Jockos out there. There's some
Marcus
Eddie
Luttrells.
Gallagher's out there that
Yeah.
are like hard asses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Like,
look at it, like Vietnam.
whether you like them or not, like that's who you want, like
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want Marcus Luttrell, you
Yeah.
want
Dude,
you
that
know,
guy is
Ross
warrior
Sherrod
G.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Steve Pace. Like they're like forged by fire.
Yeah.
They don't just talk about it.
No, yeah, Steve
But-
Pace, that dude was pretty cool too.
If you've ever met anybody that served in Vietnam,
The guys
Like,
that are the
those
quietest
dudes are-
about it.
yeah,
Those are the
hard
dudes like
dudes.
they're and
Well, I
they're
mean,
they're here
they
right
had
now.
it the
Yeah.
hardest.
They're patriots. Like
They
they're
went over there
alive.
Did their job,
And then they come back.
come back,
yeah.
and everybody hates them.
And so what my prayer is, it's like, all right, man. So these guys have been through this stuff. These guys are like, all right, this is what it takes to keep a country safe. That's who I want in office in our
Mhm.
future.
Yeah.
Because
the-
some of them are fresh. Like Steve
Mhm.
Pace. He's like mid-30s. But less than that. I think he's
Yeah.
31,
Yeah,
actually.
he's 31, 32.
So now all of a sudden, like, I would love to see a 45-year-old Steve Pace as a senator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Or maybe
100%.
younger. Maybe
You see,
38.
Yeah.
100%.
not Marcus Luttrell,
and
his
not
twin
him.
brother.
Not
is-
him exactly, but like maybe somebody like
Yeah,
that.
someone
you
like
know?
that. No, I
Uh,
agree.
You know, what I'm talking. It's not Marcus. What's his brother's name?
I don't know.
He's running for Congress.
But
He's a
But
Navy
it's-
SEAL.
it's people like that
Yeah.
who it's just like,
Mm-mm.
Marcus Luttrell. You don't know what I'm talking
I know
Marcus
Luttrell.
is.
Oh, but yeah, his twin brother.
I know
They
he
were
had a twin
both
brother.
SEAls. Anyway, he's running for Congress. Like, it's just one of those, like,
that's why I was
yes,
pumped about
finally.
like Mad Dog Mattis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I
loved
don't know.
that dude.
I know him and Trump didn't get along or didn't see eye to eye on some issues, but like mix it up with some people like that.
Mhm.
Like get them in the room.
Yeah.
Let them decide. Like, hey, we want to still be a country in 100 years. How do we do that?
Yeah.
Just somebody to get in there to be like, you're not gonna pick on us.
And then
you ain't
it's-
gonna mess with the
and
mess
then-
with us. We're gonna punch you in
And
the
then
mouth.
it's like,
Someone that
and,
can
and I'm
speak
not
English.
saying left, right, in the center, on the top of the house, whatever it
Yeah.
is. Get somebody in there like that who's like, okay, guys, listen. If you want to still be a free country in 100 years, this is what we should do
Mm.
because this is what's happened with our country. This is what's happened with these other countries. This is what history has proved.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
We're in soft times right now.
Yeah.
And history repeats
We're going
itself.
into soft times because we're in soft times because of some hard men.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, let's let those hard men keep us in soft times.
Yeah, let's let those men keep us hard. Yeah.
There's some hard asses, man.
Dude, history is so important.
It
So I was a
is
history
important.
major before. Believe it or not, Willie was
Dude,
smart
I
enough
love
to go to
history.
college.
Me too.
And I was a history major. And some of those kids just took it as a joke. And I was like, dude, like, history is so important.
And how it's
Like,
written down and
yeah.
how it's portrayed.
And making sure you tell the truth and not
The truth,
what's
yes.
convenient to tell. Because ignorance is bliss. If you don't tell the complete truth, you're just gonna keep repeating it.
And
It's gonna keep going in a
statistics.
cycle. Yeah.
Statistics.
Yeah,
I saw
that's some
something
cool stuff,
interesting.
too.
Like, I'm not trying to get into this, but it was like Coleon Noir.
Yeah.
He's a
I'm
he's a
familiar.
2A activist and also a lawyer. Very intelligent.
Mhm.
Very intelligent. And I'm not going to talk. I don't even remember what they were talking about. But essentially, he was in this Twitter feed, and there were some people who believed not what he believes, and they were kind of arguing. And again, irrelevant what they were talking about, but essentially somebody jumped in there, and he just kept using these statistics and these facts, and he was like, "Yeah, but actually, there's only been this percentage of deaths with this actual thing," and somebody jumped in and be like, "Stop using facts and statistics and consider their emotions." That was their
That's the
argument.
dumbest thing
Go
ever.
home and
That's the
get back in
problem.
your
But
bubble.
but the point
Yeah.
is just like whoa, like
These are
no,
cold,
no.
hard facts.
It's the opposite. Like, your emotions might be like high, and you might be sad or angry,
Mhm.
but that
doesn't change the
that
facts.
doesn't. You
No.
have to look at the
No.
facts. We have to look at the facts. Like,
Mhm.
we just have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
100%.
anyways, I'm not arguing left or right or middle. I'm
The
not.
facts are
No,
facts.
it's,
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
agree
saying,
with
like, you gotta look at the facts.
People
Yeah.
just get so
It's
emotional,
history.
and everything's
Mhm.
emotion based.
We cannot use
Just
emotion.
knee jerk reactions.
And you can't, I mean, if you look at just everyday life, like, look at all the instances where, like, anger stirs up, like in relationships, you can't use emotion. You
Mhm.
shouldn't, for instance, just, like, any relationship should not be based on emotion, because you're going to get mad at people,
Yeah.
and that emotion
inevitable.
stirs up. But sometimes once you look at the facts, you realize your emotions were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't make decisions based on what your quote unquote heart feels. Well, what if you don't feel like being married to after 8 years and you got 3 kids?
Yeah.
Well, you just gonna swap families just because
Yeah.
you don't feel
Your
like it?
emotions
No,
aren't
like,
there. Yeah.
you don't make a commitment based on an emotion.
Mhm.
You make a commitment based on facts and a decision. And Lord willing, the emotions stay with it. Like, I don't want somebody to use some exception. I don't want to say an exception to the rule, but don't use some extreme case to come, like, argue with.
Yeah,
me. Like,
yeah.
this.
yeah, well, he did this, and that. Okay, well, I'm not
I don't
talking
know
about.
why I sounded trying to sound like a woman when I did that. But
I'm just saying, like, the basic rule of thumb that I'm talking about is, like, we can't use emotions in our day to day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, we use as many facts as possible. Anyways, we've gotten deep in this podcast.
No, I like that though.
Yeah,
the
I like it,
statistics
too.
thing.
no, I've been watching in the leather shop for the past like 3 or 4 days while I'm working. I play World War II documentaries because you don't have to actually watch them. Like, they talk over everything. And you bringing up that, like, last 4 days I've been thinking about how it's going to be crazy when all of us have kids. It's very likely that history is going to repeat itself. Like, when we all have kids, World War III is probably going to be in their lifetime,
Yeah.
and there's no telling what it's going to be like. And y'all brought it up, and it's just been running through my brain for like the past 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, like a kid born today,
Yeah.
November 23rd is when this is being recorded. November 23rd and 2021. Like, what is he going to be? Is he going to be
Yeah.
a little softy, or is he going to be a hard ass?
Depends on his parents,
Mhm.
I guess.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. But, like, what can we do? But now, when I say a hard ass, like, I'm not saying someone that's unkind.
No. But something
No,
like
you're
deal with some
talking about
difficulty in their life.
somebody
Loving God and loving your neighbor, like that's the most important commandment.
Mhm.
In Mark chapter 12, the Pharisees asked Jesus, like, what is the most important commandment? He said, love God, love your neighbor. He doesn't say, like, you know, be a hard ass on the front of enemy lines. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so like,
yeah,
if you gotta prioritize traits for a child,
Yeah.
number one should be love God. Number two is love your neighbor. And then it's like also don't
Protect.
be a little sissy.
Yeah.
You know, protect your country.
Well, I mean, it's like what you're getting at when you say a hard man. It's not a hard man can be a good man, but that good man is also a monster
One time
that
comes.
can control his control. He can use it when he needs it.
David,
He's not gonna use it when he doesn't need to.
David.
He's gonna
God-
talk himself out of it if he can, but when it does come time to fisticuff or anything like that,
God called
he's a
David
monster.
to be. God
Don't mess
called
with me,
David a man after my own heart. But yet, whenever David was trying to win over the king's daughter as his wife, the king said, "Bring me 100 enemy foreskins," which is kind of weird. Whatever.
Don't get lost in the details.
The point is, it's just like when you bring that, it's like, okay, this was an uncircumcised, like it's obviously the enemy. You know, and he brought 200. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of man David was.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He killed 200 enemy soldiers and cut off their wieners. Yet God called him a man after my own heart. Like that dude was a soldier. Now he made some mistakes. He was human.
Yeah.
You know, he made some mistakes later. But God, and that's another, like,
Come on, David.
God's
man, she's
grace.
just bathing on the roof. You ain't gotta stare.
You don't
at
gotta
her
stand
like
there
that.
the whole time.
don't mess with
Come on.
Uriah.
Then take our mans and send them on the front lines.
Yeah, and then
like,
put-
for real.
then put Uriah on the front, man. That's
Golly,
sad.
man.
Come on, David.
But
But he fessed up to it. You know, he fessed up to
he
it.
took one.
Even in the midst of all that, the sin in his life, that was a pretty big one. You know, God still called him a man after his own heart. That's pretty promising, knowing that you can still be a sinner and still be a man after God's own heart.
We're not supposed to be perfect.
But the point is, well, we're supposed to be, but we're not.
Well, yeah, we're supposed to
Yeah.
strive. But
Yeah. But the point is like, David was a hard man. David was a hard man. So you can still love your neighbor and be a hard man rather than, anyway. We're getting in the details.
We are.
We're not getting lost, but we're in the
getting
details.
in the details. We're not getting
Crypto,
lost.
Jesus, war. Yeah.
All right. Well, what's some life advice, Colonel Sanders?
Oh man.
How long have we been talking?
Hour and a half, hour and 26 minutes.
What's some life advice?
Is it supposed to be like original?
I
Or
mean,
just whatever.
it's supposed to be you. It's supposed to be Colonel Sanders. Like if something, maybe it influenced you. Like we said already, good artist copy, great artist steal.
All right. Little Lonesome Dove quote. So get on your horse, Jasper. We got cattle to drive.
I like it.
Newt just got beat up, but he still got back up and did
Yeah.
what he had to do.
Bingo.
Bingo,
Drive
bingo.
cattle.
I like it. What you got, Willie?
This is just gonna be a motivation for the citizens of Winnebago. Stay gnarly, Winnebago.
Gotcha.
Mm.
What you got, Leroy?
Well, you said what? Good artist copy, great artist steal. Go to the Mooney Zone. Nobody remembers 85-point bull rides.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Gang,
Gang, gang.
gang, gang.
Had a guy call
Buzz,
me
buzz.
yesterday about being in a movie.
Oh, which one?
I don't want to talk about it yet. I don't think I can.
Is it a Western?
Kind of like country music. It's a movie about some stuff. I don't want to talk about it yet.
Wait, hold on. They called you to be in a movie about
Yeah.
music?
Yeah. But anyway, he and I, we were talking about being believers, and he brought up one of his favorite verses. It's one I've shared on social media recently, and it's a good one. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. So I think that's good for this podcast. It's Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. So like trust him even though you may not understand it. Or don't don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him. So whether you're on social media, whether you're going to a rodeo, whether you're going to work, dealing with a coworker, whether you're voting, whatever you're doing, in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. So that's kind of the hope that we have. Faith is believing in something without really seeing it. And so if you do that every day, now all of a sudden it allows you, at the start of that, it's like, this is how you do it. And at the end of it, he will make your path straight. So it's like, man, what am I going to do? How am I going to make decisions? Like, if the crap hits the fan, well, go back to that verse, and he will make your path straight. Anyways, so thanks for watching podcast. If you're on YouTube, thanks for listening. If you're on Spotify or iTunes, we better get back to work. It's lunchtime. Thank you for joining us, Colonel Sanders. Thank you for being on the team. Come see us at the NFR. And if you want to hear when these podcasts drop, and if you're listening this long, then you're probably you fall into this category. Text me the word podcasts to 940-353-0890. And that will let me notify you every time we drop a podcast. So text me, old son. Anyways, we're on to the next one. And then you got to play the outro music.
Which one's that?
Yeah, there you go.
Freestyle.
Can I get my mama shout out?
No.
Okay.
I already
Miss
have
Sanders.
today. I called her this morning.